in our food. We want the right kind of structure, and we need to be able to store it properly. Okay. Just before we go on to that, I'll just show you how we catch cockroaches. Okay. What we do is, if we think we've got cockroaches in a food business, we put one of these sticky traps in. Okay. We rip off this here, and then we put some food in the middle, some cockroach bait, which we stick in the middle there. And you see how sticky that is? Yeah. So what happens is all the cockroaches will go to that, stick on it, they try and get off, so sometimes we have a leg left on it, and then they get stuck there. So we can tell how big the cockroach infestation is by how many. And sometimes they'll go and in your food. Okay? And they also lay little eggs, which we've got some here. And what they do is these eggs drop off the back of the cockroach and they're just scattered all over the floor. And when you stand on them, we'll pass that round and have a look. Okay, so we'll just pass them around this way. Okay, so that's an egg and a cockroach. So the reason we do this is because we need to cover our outside clothing. Okay? So we don't get any germs. Now, I must admit, it's not the cleanest of white coats, but there we go. So we button it up. Okay? It's just like a lab coat. We put a hat on. It's got a hairnet on. Do you want to put that on? So that we don't get any hair drops in the food. Now, we talked about places, other places, it's very, very dirty. As you can imagine, there's lots of blood, lots of guts, lots of inside splashing about. So it has to be something that can be cleaned. Yeah? Normally, you probably wouldn't wear that. You probably have a hard hat on. You know, like what the builders wear. Because, okay. Now, if a food business doesn't do things how we want them to do it, we can prosecute them. So we can take them to court, okay, and we can fine them. So for each thing that they do wrong, they can have a £5,000 fine, okay, or up to 6 months in prison, okay. So something else that we have to wear is in a different type of food production facility. For example, in an abattoir. Do you know what an abattoir is? That's where animals from the farm go to be killed so that we can eat them. I check with my thermometer, put this inside the food, and we check that it's at the right temperature. Okay? If it isn't, the food business can get in lots of trouble. Okay? One thing that a food business has to do, so they've got to have the right structure, they've got to have the right clothes, they've got to have no pests, but they also have to do lots of paperwork.